Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we're gonna get back working on that big bud. But first, today's video sponsor is brought to you by Brooklyn Bedding. So we'll talk about that more in a minute. So there's something, while working on the air system on this tractor, that I should probably get to. It's really important. And most big buds have them. Some of the early generations, like this one, did not. But we're gonna solve that. Let's go take a look at it. Ooh, look at that. Now there is a train horn. No, the other buds did not have a train horn. They had a two-tone. This is a 3. This was given to us by our buddy Dennis Becker at Becker Trucking. He's hauled B-Spine, Big Brute, the 600 bud. Is there something else he's hauled? Those 3. Anyways, or at least a couple of those. He's hauled a couple of those all the way down to the shows, and he's gonna be hauling that beast to the show this year as well. Thank you, Dennis. But he gave us, just out of appreciation and just he thought that'd be cool, this air horn, him and his son, and said, hey, you need to put that on your International 9370. And sorry guys, we never did. Meant to, never did. So I think it's only fitting that we put that on this project. But he told us to make this thing scream, don't use the air supply that they provide. Instead, get one of these air relays, brake relays. This actually came off. This is just an on-off solenoid air solenoid that was right there. It's a little teeny 3/8 port. So what we're gonna do to supply all the air we can to this unit, I took this off. I'm gonna put this in the service line to the relay. So this will then go to an air switch. So an air line supply there. This will go inside your cab for a switch to push the button and go honk, honk. And then a main supply line will go into here, which then will go out the delivery line to the air horn. So then when you press the button, you're getting, what is that, 1/2 inch air all the way to right there at that port. And plus you don't have to run air lines all the way to your cab up and around the whole cab tilt part. So you can just have wires, which is a lot easier to work with. So you just press the button and the air horn should scream. So. I was kind of thinking of tentatively where to put this horn. Typically they put them on the side of the cab, the corner, like right up there on the other side. But there's a snorkel for the cab pressure. I don't know, then you gotta do the whole airlines for the cab, and we just don't want to drill more holes than we have to, leg arms, in the cab. And plus, these things get so loaded up with dust on these tractors that they start having problems. And I think partially is they need to be tipped down, not horizontal. That way the dust hopefully falls out most of the time. So, right here is a nice little location, though. That would be good for this horn. Tucked up tight. I don't think the cab's gonna hit it when it folds down. It'll be easy to service, maintain, and it'll scream, and people won't be able to see it, so we can surprise everybody, right? For the few times that we drive this around people. The other thing is I need to build a support to this intake tube, this going into the turbos right here between these two lines, just to kind of give a little support to that top one, because it's kind of just hanging there. It's hooked under there, but we want to support it here. So I guess I'll just get to work and figure something out.
So we decided not to go with this. It just doesn't look very good. Rip that off. We found another type of stuff that's on its way to see if it looks good. What I do need to do is I need to figure out my gauges on the back of these panels. So what I'm gonna do is, in case if we ever have to pull the panels off, which we will at some point, I don't want to have a bunch of wires soldered and we have to try to fish them out of the dash and get all that taken care of to get rid of. What I'm going to do is have quick connectors. So there's going to be a connector on each panel that you just literally pull apart, and then you can pull the panel off the main harness of the cab and do what you need to do. So I'm going to cut these wires to length. I'm going to crimp and solder, put connectors on, and then I'll make a pigtail wire from there to like my fuse panel for my power ground, my lights, those kind of things. And then obviously we have all the sensor wires that need to be going to where they need to go. So we'll have a pigtail, and or not pigtail, but a connector for those as well. Probably this big old thing. So yeah, that's what I got going on. So I'm gonna make these first, and then when we're ready, when we actually get that material for putting the wrap on these panels, I'll take them all apart, put the wrap on, put it back on, see how it looks, and away we go. So yeah, I'm gonna do some more wirings. Kind of looks like a mess underneath there, but it's not too bad. So this one obviously is going to have 3 connectors, and then you have a EGT, which I'm not going to put a connector on because it already pretty much has one. And then this one here has 4 of them as well. I didn't have one connector to do all of them because there's quite a few runs. And but yeah, I don't think I can mess this up. That'll work. Should work really well. And then we've got our tachometer and shifter and engine and all that good stuff. Little update. I pretty much have finished all of the gauges to the bulkheads on the cab. So here's the bulkhead that's going to go through. There's 2 of these because I don't have enough for everything to fit in one. Actually, let me take that back a little bit. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 bulkheads that go through the cab. 1 for the Raven system on the GPS, and then you got 2 for the engine harness and all the gauges, and then you got 1 for the transmission. So, am I missing one? Raven, transmission, harness to the engine / sensor. Yeah, no, we're 4. So anyways, I finished this one, and those are finished, and they're ready. So let's move on to the next thing, which is, I don't know yet. I'll pick something.
Which one is it? Oh, that's right. Who designed this? Oh, this is gonna be tricky. There we go. There we go. All right, air horn is installed. I got to drill a hole, tie that up somewhere there, zip tie around, so it goes up and over to our air relay, which has a solenoid which opens the airway to the service line, which will then be supplied by the supply line, which is here, which the supply line also tees and runs up into the air relay, which will then, when the valve opens from the supply line, will kick air down the delivery line up and over to the air horn. And then that way, in the cab, you can tie a switch to these 2 wires, so the wires will run up and around, up and into the bulkhead inside, and a button, honk, honk. Why did I spend the whole day doing this? There's a lot more that needs done on this tractor than an air horn. Making good progress on the tractor, but it has been a long day and I'm exhausted, so I'm ready to go to bed. Speaking of bed, let's go check out my bed. Oh, good. I was hoping I would have to struggle to get to my door. Yeah. Welcome to my master bedroom. This is the Sedona mattress from Brooklyn Bedding. This is a great mattress. We've had this mattress for about 5 months now, and the reason we upgraded was because our old mattress was a little firm for the wife. I personally like a little more firm. This mattress is a little best of both worlds. There's 6 layers in this mattress, from coiled springs to different types of foam to the cover, and all those contribute to helping your spine reach the natural curve that it needs, your shoulders, whatever the pressure point is you're laying in the mattress, it's going to fill the gaps and keep everything the way it should be. This is a nice mattress. And I just now realized I didn't take my dirty clothes off from the shop before I laid on it. Don't tell the wife. Designed, assembled, and shipped from a factory in Arizona. You can expect premium quality materials. And believe it or not, this thing ships in a cardboard box. Not as big as you would think. And all you do is open it up, cut the plastic off, and boom, your whole mattress pops out. This is a queen. There's no fiberglass used in the construction of this mattress. So unlike some manufacturers out there, you don't have to worry about that because fiberglass is not a great thing to be breathing while you're sleeping. All of our mattresses come with a limited lifetime warranty. This is a heavy mattress, probably from the 6 layers of foam and coils and everything else that makes it as awesome as it is, but they've got nice strong handles. So if you do got to lug it around, get around from hallways and doors up and down stairs, at least you got places to grab. I love my Brooklyn Bedding mattress, and I think you would too. If you're in the market for a new mattress, head over to brooklynbedding.com or scan the QR code, and to get 30% off your order, use the promo code Welker Farms. And while you're there checking out mattresses, make sure to go to the sleep quiz and help yourself pick out the right mattress for you. Mystery box. What is in the mystery box? Something very, 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 very important. Oh man, that is a good sight to see.
It's a turbo, Nick. There's 2 turbos.
Really interesting turbo.
Yeah.
And then these are the connecting pins. Oh yeah, look at that. Wow. Oh, you guys know what that is?
You want to see what's in this box?
Yeah, what's in this box? Oh, that's awesome. I've always wanted that. After November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June. What are we like? What is that? 8 months? We've got, actually we didn't order it. It was more like 6 months. We got our high-speed inverted chain for the divider box and the big butt. And yes, we have 2 because we ordered a spare. We didn't have a spare on the farm. These babies are not cheap. They came all the way from the UK. I don't know where they were made. Somewhere probably in Asia or something. Maybe the UK. Maybe they built them in the UK. I'm not sure. But bottom line is, they finally got here. And that was a huge relief. So we're going to take the chain and we need to get the old chain and we need to lay them side by side and just make sure it's the same chain. All right. Grab the other one. Now we think we did get them a little longer. Well, no, that's about right.
Looks the same.
So, test. Okay, now this one.
Wow.
Accordion.
Put this solid.
Okay. Accordion. It's not even moving the other side. New chain. And then you do the snake. $23. I think that's the right chain. Oh, that tractor was going nowhere without this thing.
No stress, guys. No stress.
Thank you, Crossmores. Yes, we paid in full for this chain. There was no discounts. But, thank you. This chain's going to be used for the next 2 decades straight. 3, 4. We're going to do the next step, and that is add fuel to this thing. Not filling it all the way full, because you just never know. For some reason, we got to drain it back out again. I don't know why we would, but we got to get some diesel in it, so that way we can start it when we're ready, which we're not quite ready yet. We're close. So we're going to take it, hook on, and we're going to pull the tractor back to the outside the door right here. We'll drive our service truck alongside, put some gallons in the tanks. I just checked the plugs. They're all plugged. And I think all the fuel system is together on here. So we will find out shortly. But getting steps done. Oh, this feels good. We're close. We're getting real close. Just a couple big things that got to finalize. Man, this thing's about ready to start. Isn't that crazy? Oh, that's beautiful. Look at that thing. It's got heavier. He's peeling out. Ooh, yeah. She clears. Plenty of room. We could have made it taller. Plenty of room. Wow. That is so cool. That is so cool. I'm sure the wide angle lens on this camera kind of distorts the image a little bit. Not much I can do about that, but you get the idea. Just got done putting a little bit of diesel in it. Let's see what our level shows. I also ran the pressure washer on just real quick, knock some of that dust off. It's been accumulating in the shop. There we are. So enough fuel to get it primed at least. That's good. It's gonna take a little bit to get that fuel up to the system. We didn't put a lift pump on it yet. We technically don't need to, but it'd probably be a good idea to do it. So we'll see. I don't know. Got a valve I can turn off if I need to install one. A couple things going on in the shop today. For one, of course that. 2, cleaning the broom. And it's raining, and they're saying maybe an inch or more. So that'd be 2 inches in 2 weeks. It's like half of last year's rainfall. So yeah, that's good. Change the fuel filter in that. And then upgraded. Yeah, the other one, the bottom was all broke out, and it was doing this every time we used water. So now it's doing this because I changed it out. But, all right, now back to that. Well, I've been doing a lot of pressure washing and cleaning and solventing and diesel fueling and wiping with shop towels. And I think I got the inside of this pretty clean. This is the chain case. This is what takes the upper output shaft from the transmission to a sprocket, which is up there, which drives that big chain that we just got, and drives that big sprocket, which then puts power out the front and the rear axle. So the thing with this, though, is that I was spinning it, so I noticed the cage, actually it is a little loose still, on the bearing had a little bit of play in it, and I didn't like that. So I called it around, and my advice was given was that shouldn't have play in that cage like that. It should be pretty tight. You shouldn't be able to rattle it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put a dial indicator on this shaft, maybe stick a magnet here around, and put it on the face of the main shaft. And then I'm going to slowly tighten the nut in the back, and we're gonna try to jockey this back and forth and see if we can get it to about that 2 to 6 thousandths range of play, and then that should be about right for setting the preload on these bearings. I had to make a shim for the nut back there because the nut was deading out and was not putting enough pressure to put preload on this sprocket here. Actually, it's not the sprocket, the shaft on the bearings. So that was interesting. I don't know if there was a shim originally and someone lost it, but I just thought that was kind of weird why it was bottoming out. The only other indication would be is that the bearings are wore, but they don't look that bad, so I don't think that's the case. The other thing I found while I was in here playing around, there was always kind of a clunk, a slop. So if you took this and shook it back and forth, the sprocket would have a little play on the shaft. I was like, well, that's not good. Well, then I started looking closer, and they've got a hole drilled here with threads in it, and there was no locking nut in there. Or what do they call it? What do they call it, Scott?
Set screw.
Set screw. Come back to locking nut. Set screw is what I'm trying to say. So then I looked up here, and sure enough, the top one had one, the bottom one didn't, but the top one was loose and the bottom one was missing. So I took this one out and Loctited it and shoved it back in tight so it's holding that keyway tight, and then found a set screw for this one, and now that keyway tight. So no more slop. So that's what's going on in here. So we're gonna put the dial indicator on, we're gonna see if we can get this preload set, and then technically I think I can start getting that chain in there.
Make sure all this is tight.
So I've got a bar on the sprocket. This bar's on the yoke. Leg arm's reaching out for some reason.
I want it. I want the camera. Hi, guys.
Okay, so if I put pressure on this one, look at the indicator. I said, look at the indicator. Look at the indicator. So we're gonna start there. So that's the baseline. And now if I go the other direction, see, so that's too much. What are we at, 9 thousandths you said?
About 9 thousandths.
So we gotta,
wait, is it over 9,000?
it's over 9,000.
It's over 9,000.
I know metric guys. Just deal with us, metric guys. Just deal with it for a second. So I'm gonna go under there, I'm gonna tighten that nut up some more. Let's see if we can get them at play out of there. Just tighten the nut a notch. There's a locking tab that locks it in place. There's only so many increments you can do. It's kind of like a wheel bearing. So let's try, so that's 0 there. Let's go the other way. That's still quite a bit. That's like still 9 at least. Yeah.
Wow, that is quite a bit.
Okay, I'll tighten it up some more.
Still a little bit.
The nut was turning pretty easy, so it's got probably a little ways to go. I think we're getting hard now. There we go. Okay, let's just try that. That's pretty tight.
Okay, there you go.
All right, ready?
Yep. Try it again. You're about 9,000 still.
Still about 9 thousandths. Let me check this cage on this bearing. It's tighter than it was. Well, I can try to tighten it up some more. It's just now getting snug, so I'll go to the next notch if I can.
Lots going on.
All right, I made it to the notch. Let's try it again.
We're at about 1 thousandths. Okay, we're at 0. Okay, now we're at 5 thousandths.
5?
So go back.
Well, that's probably where we're going to leave it then.
Yeah.
because if I tighten one more notch,
you got
notches are like,
you got it up to 6,000ths right then when you really did that.
It'll probably it's gonna probably want to loosen it. Let's just spin it a bunch and see if I'm gonna spin it a bunch and see if I can see if I can get some more play out of it.
Sounds pretty good. Bearings sound
All right,
good.
want to try it again?
Sure. So we're about you almost hit 6,000ths.
Well, the question is, do I try to tighten up and make one more notch? He said 2 to 6,000, so right at the top end of it. I would think it's gonna loosen.
It will push against itself.
So I'm gonna try to do one more notch, and we'll see what that is.
Okay.
Feel tight?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's tight.
All right, so.
Okay, hang on a second.
Well, if we still can get that play, then we're still fine, even though it's tight.
Okay, there we go. We're at 0.
I got a feeling I need to cut a notch in that lock. All right, ready?
Yep.
I can't even move it that way. Look at that. That didn't budge. Let's try the other way.
Oh. You got 2,000ths right there. Yep. No, go the other way. You're right at 2,000ths. Exactly 2,000ths.
So,
I'd run it.
what's that?
I'd run it. Tighter's better than looser. And it's going to eventually loosen up a little bit. I mean, with bearings and everything running for a little bit, it will loosen just a slight bit, and you're talking like minimal, but it could be a lot. So, anyways, okay.
All right. So there's the chain. This is the tensioner sprocket. So we got to put that in first. So we'll slide it in over these rails. It'll be loose. Then I'm going to feed up around a ratchet strap over the back side of that sprocket and over. I've got a wire in the front here. We're going to hook onto that. And then we're going to pull and lift and pull until we get the teeth to first start to grab that chain. And then we'll put a bar in here. We'll manually turn this and wind that chain up and down until it gets around the bottom. Actually, I got to take that strap, or I got to reach strap underneath here, hook back on it, and then pull it through here. And then the process of getting the two halves of the chain together to put the key in, the link key, which is right here. So that is what joins that chain together. And this is going to be fun, really fun. And this thing's heavy. These things are like 100 some pounds. So, and we have found a plate in there.
We're missing something.
This was just sitting in the bottom when I took it apart.
Did you see something with square?
Yes, yeah, we have that. I'll find it. I'll find it. I think it's over here on the bench. There we go. I wonder. There's enough. I think I need to put a spacer in that. And I'll pull it out.
And I'm going to stick it on that shaft.
Yeah, that just slides off. Put that on. Put that piece back on there.
Because it's going to go on the axle shaft for the pulley, right?
Yeah, it's going to go right on, on
Yep.
the shaft. Yep.
Yep.
I wonder if I can go out like, the problem is it wants to tip forward.
I got to remove this?
Yep.
Oh, it does. Oh, there. Okay. Okay.
There it goes. There. That's better. That's better. Much better. Okay. That can go all the way back. This I see isn't in the... Get these lined up. Okay, stop. Oh, okay, it's on there. Yep, it's centered. Okay, all right, keep going, keep going. A little more. Oh, I got to put this up. There we go. Keep going. Right there, stop. Okay, down a little bit. Okay, right there's kind of where you got to keep it. This is where it's going to be a little tricky.
In the bottom.
Hope you guys can see this.
You got to move it up and down like you're doing.
Okay, it's just now. Wait, hang on. Oh, there it goes. That's good. Yep. Now top one, I'll tell you when to stop. Keep going.
No, we need to put this pin in first and then pound it through and then hit the other one.
Okay.
Otherwise you can't get it back very easy.
All right, I got the first roll pin in right in there. This one's gonna be kind of tricky. Don't have a lot of room. There's a roll pin that just goes inside the little hole they have drilled, and that keeps that pin from sliding back and forth. And or the link, and that's what keeps that whole chain together. All right, check it out. Turn the top yoke, and the bottom yoke spins. I've got some tension on the chain. I haven't evened it out yet, but roll pins are in. Everything's good. So I'm going to set the play. The rule of thumb is it a 1/2 inch or 3/4, Scott?
3/4.
I think I'm gonna do a 1/2 because it's new, but basically you put a tape in here or some type of measuring device, and when you feel like you got enough tension on the chain, you push this in as far as you can, measuring the guide right here, and then pull it out as far as you can, and it shouldn't measure more than 3/4 of an inch play back and forth. We're gonna go with a 1/2 inch because the thing is, after like 50 hours, I gotta pull this cover off and do it again. And then another 50 hours, do it again. And then after a while, eventually when it stops stretching, then you just leave it. But the chain will stretch being new. So you have to do that, otherwise it'll jump teeth on the sprockets, and you don't want that. So, rule of thumb, remember that. Every 50 hours or so. Check it, tighten it, and keep going back to work. Just confirming that yep, that's exact. All right, according to that, chain is in. It's evenly tensioned on both sides of the, not turnbuckles, the all threads, what do you want to call them. So now, I just got to turn this one back a little bit, which I could do right now. Just a hair, like that. This is the stop, and that locks those two together. I gotta pull that over a little bit, put that on there. And then when the door fits, it'll hold this tight there, which stops those from being able to back off. It's a big girl done. Oh. Chain's in, guys. Now to put some oil in it. Now this chain, they said from the factory, which we've done in the past, use 1540 engine oil. So that's what we're putting in. And the nice thing about it, the transmission, that Allison, and engine, and chain case all use 1540. Isn't that nice? So really, we only have 2 oils other than the axles and the rear PTO box. Those are gear oil, but in hydraulic, for the hydraulic tank. But the rest of the system is just engine oil. Keeps it simple. There it is. 700 plus is mounted and ready. Got a nice ram mount back there. Soon we'll also have another ram mount from up here. It'll come down. That'll hold the iPad for your intelligent ag blockage system and whatever systems may use a tablet. But that's pretty good. Got good visibility right behind all the exhaust and intake right there. So you're really not blocking a lot of your view. And then, of course, the air can come by and blow the backside of the 700, which is nice for it, or it can blow you. So there we go. We're good. Quick stop at a spring wheat field. I figured I'd show you guys before we end this. Here's what we're looking at. It was seeded, obviously, well, right after peas, but it would be the latest crop seeded. And like everything else, you know, it got stunted by the really dry conditions this spring. But like the rest of it, you know, it's not gonna just till out to be just massive heads everywhere. But it did get that rain, and what's here, you know, will finish filling. These kernels should fill out, especially if we get another rain in the next 2 weeks. And so it's just so hard to say. I mean, overall, it's not tall, it's not thick, but I don't think it's gonna be just a complete disaster. If I were to put a guess on this, I could say this would make high teens, low 20s in some areas. I think there's some spring wheat that's definitely better. We have some ground that's a little bit more forgiving than this right here, and it does better. But I just suspect this is probably going to be in that teens range, which, no, that's not great. But it could have been a lot worse if those rains didn't come. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, it's gonna happen fast. Winter wheat's turning, so we won't be long. We'll be looking at combines real soon here. Cool. But we gotta get that tractor done in the shop first. So that's priority. That's where I'm going right now.